guys, welcome back. It's Mrs. Peterson, that lady who teaches art, and today we're going to review the element of art called value. So please start by putting your first name, last initial at the top, and your class is 3. So like I said, our big word for today is value, V-A-L-U-E. Please add that to the front of your packet. And here I have a picture using some of the different values. I have white, light gray, middle gray, dark gray, and black. And our definition of value is the lightness or darkness of an image. Please write that down. The lightest value that we know of is white. And the darkest one then is black. And then halfway between these two, we call it middle gray. Then we're going to turn the page, and on the back of that page, I have 3 different types of value scales. A value scale shows the values that go from white to black. So first we're going to use hatching, and hatching has diagonal lines that go one way. So please write 1 right there. In the first box it says white. We're just going to leave that completely white, and then we're going to use diagonal lines to shade in the light gray box, light gray. And we're going to try to fill up the whole box from one corner to the other. Looks like I missed this corner a little bit, so I'm going to go back and add that. And we want the whole box to be one shade. Then I'm going to go middle gray. So I'm going to push it a little bit harder, but keeping my lines going diagonally. Now I'm going to check that box and make sure the whole box is filled in. Then I'm going to move on to my dark gray. It needs to be darker than what I just did, but not quite as dark as my pencil can go yet. It takes a little longer in this box. Keeping my lines diagonal because I'm using hatching. Just check your box. And then my last one, I want to make sure it's, I missed a little bit in the middle there. My last one, I'm going to push as hard as I can make my pencil go without breaking my pencil lead or ripping my paper. Check your box, make sure you have all the corners filled in. And then just double check that it goes from lightest, and each one looks darker, all the way to the darkest. And then just clean up any edges that got outside. All right, the next one is called crosshatching. Crosshatching has diagonal lines that go both ways. It's a crisscross pattern. So first, my white one, I'm just going to leave alone. My light gray one, I'm going to lightly do diagonal lines one way, filling in the whole box. And then I can come back and I'm going to twist my paper and do diagonal lines the other way, keeping it very light. Okay, now I'm going to go on to my middle gray and do diagonal lines one way, just a little bit harder. And then I'm going to do diagonal lines the other way. This is about normal pencil pressure. I'm going to make sure that these look like they're getting darker as they go. Now I'm going to go to dark gray. This is harder than normal pencil pressure. Stay on the diagonal. Go one way diagonal. And then come back and do the other way diagonal. Make sure it looks like it got darker. And then my last one needs to be my black. It's pretty hard. Once you get your diagonal lines done one way, come back the other way. Feel free to twist your paper so it gets easier for your hand. And then double check that it gets darker as it goes. And then if you need to clean up any edges. Okay, our last value scale we're going to talk about this year is stippling. Stippling is dots. And sometimes it's called pointillism. In the white box, we don't need to do anything. And in the gray box, I'm going to do just a few dots. Now I want to hold my pencil straight up and down. And I want to go soft. If I go too hard, they become little lines. And when I have that box evenly covered with dots, I'm going to move on to the middle gray box, where I'm going to need more dots. When you all are working on this, sometimes it sounds like a rainstorm. This one definitely has more dots than the last one. I'm still going slow. I'm not pushing too hard where my lines start to look like, my dots start to look like lines. You can tell that it gets a little darker. And now I'm going to do dark gray. I need a lot more dots this time. Notice how slow I'm going to get it done.